Okay, so this is question 1 from our worksheet, and the directions say identify the center and the radius. So what you see up here at the top, you see our equation. Oh, that looks terrible. You see our equation. So x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 16. And then on this bottom line, you see the standard form of a circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So the first step that we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to draw a circle around the -2 and the h, and then draw another circle around the +1 and the -k. And you're going to use this to form, I think it's like a little shortcut. So if you look at this number here at the top, what we're going to try and do is to find the opposite. And the opposite of -2 is +2. Another way to say that is -2, and the opposite of minus is plus. But that is h. Now, I know that there are lots of different ways to do this, and so I think that with your calculator accommodation, this is probably the easiest way to do this. So I'm going to go up here to the top, and there's a +1 or a +1, and I'm going to take the opposite, and the opposite of +1 is -1. And that is k. And that's it. So we're going to just write it down here. So the center is h comma k, which is 2, -1. Not too bad. So remember this step where you're trying to take the opposite. So this is the second part of the problem where we're trying to come up with the radius. So the first thing that we're going to do, I want to say, is from algebra and pre-algebra, where we drew the vertical line between the equal sign, because we want to separate the left-hand side from the right-hand side. So we already worked on the left-hand side, and that was the center. Over here on the right, we're going to use that to solve the radius. So one of the strategies that we used earlier was that we circled the top and the bottom term to help us figure out the answer. So what we're going to do is to do the same thing on the right side. So we're going to take the 16 and the r squared and set them equal to each other. So r squared equals 16. And that's pretty much the hardest part. I'm going to take the square root of the left-hand side, take the square root of the right-hand side, and let's see, another color. The square root of r squared is r, and the square root of 16 is 4. So at this point, what we're going to do, just to make sure that everything is clear, is that you're going to write over here, radius US equals 4. So those two are the answers for number 1, and that is that the radius equals 4, and I'm just going to swish over here, and the center is 2, -1. And those are the pieces of information that you're going to need for tomorrow when we start graphing these. So here we are back to the beginning with our standard form on the bottom and our equation on the right. So just like in algebra, we're going to draw the vertical line to separate the left side from the right side. Now the left side gives you the center, and the right side gives you the radius. So starting off on the left side, just like we did before, we're going to make 2 vertical circles or ovals to help you figure out what are the coordinates for the X and the Y, or the H and the K. So starting up here, you have -1, and you're going to take the opposite. The opposite of -1 is +1. So that's not so bad. So now we're taking the 3, and the opposite of +3 is -3. So that +1 is H, and the -3 is K. So the center is HK, and the center then is 1, -3. So that is how we do that. So moving on to the right-hand side, we're going to draw a circle in a different number around the 4 and the r squared, because we're going to set those equal to each other. So r squared equals 4. So just like we did on the other problem, we're going to say that we're going to take the square root of the left side and take the square root of the right side. So the square root of r squared is just r, and the square root of 4 is 2. So the radius equals 2. And those are what we're going to use tomorrow to graph. So you're on your own for number 3. Ask for help if you need it.